My name is Ted. I'm a senior tech for Khanna Vision, and this is a story about Khanna Vision Institute, the surgeries, the instruments, the high tech machines, but most important, the people.
Presbyopic implant versus cataract surgery. Now, this is very confusing to people when they hear the word implant. They say, oh, yeah, my grandfather also had it. Those are two different things. We are treating two different conditions in two different age groups. So, to understand that, what is the function of a natural lens, which is in our eye? The first is to transmit the light. Second is to focus the light on the macula, which is the back part of the retina, so that accurate information from the universe can be passed on to our brain. And early on, we have autofocusing mechanism which allows the lens to change shape as objects move from far to near. This inability to change shape is presbyopia. That is what is treated by presbyopic implants. And as we have discussed, presbyopia starts around age 45 and keeps increasing to 60, 65. That becomes the ideal sweet spot for presbyopic implant surgery in young people where the lens has become dysfunctional or stopped working to adjust the autofocusing, but still clear enough to allow light to pass. Cataract is a disease, I'm sorry to say, but of older people, like in their 70s and 80s, when the lens becomes cloudy. So, therefore, the goal of the two surgeries, the way they are done, and the outcomes are different. So, let me give you in a tabular form. I'll move my head left to right to keep you on track. In presbyopia, we are treating uh, presbyopia. In presbyopic implant, we are treating presbyopia. In cataract, we are treating a cloudy lens. Presbyopic implant in the eye is done in people in their late 40s and ideally in 50s to 60s, while the lens is still clear. Cataracts are done in an older age group, like 70s, 80s, 90s. The goal of PI or presbyopic implant in eye is to allow a person to see great at distance, middle, and near in each eye. And this is done by FDA approved implants. Goal of cataract surgery is just to let more light come in. The goal of PI is not to have to wear glasses after the procedure at all. That's our goal. And we don't have to put stitches. We have to correct astigmatism. We have to correct any spherical aberrations or dry eyes and any vitreous opacities, anything that can impede amazing vision. That's not the goal of cataract surgery. Cataract surgery goal is, hey, let the light come in, and then we can wear glasses, progressives, bifocals, etc. Doesn't matter if you have to throw a stitch. Another difference is we are dealing with young people with PI, so they don't have diseases like hypertension, uncontrolled diabetes, thyroid, or blepharitis, lid margin disease, whereas these are common occurrences in cataract surgery. Finally, is the goal. What does a patient expect? This time I'll start with the reverse. Cataract patients are usually retired people, homebound, they're not driving at night. They're still active people, and that's why they're having this surgery. but their expectations are not that high because they can barely drive because of the cataracts. Now they're able to drive, they're happy. And because before the cataract surgery, they were not 20/20, right? Their light got impeded, they couldn't see, and now whatever they see, they're happier. But by we are dealing with A level people who function at a very high level, driving high speed at night, or skiing, or surfing, and can already see 20/20 with the aid of visual aids like contact lenses or glasses. But they want to get rid of those impediments to a natural life. So, since now I hope it's clear these are two different procedures for different age groups for different disease entities. In another video, I can even go into the exact skill set needed from a surgeon, which will be different for each procedure. Stay tuned for that. Best presbyopia solution in 2026. Now, when we use the word best, I use it with great caution because what might be best for one eye might be not as good for the other, and same for different people and lifestyle. But if we have to choose, if everything is good, eyes are normal, money is no issue, and fear has been overcome, then what would be the best strategy to reverse the clock of time and take you to a time when you didn't have to wear glasses at 25? Or if you had worn glasses and had LASIK, to a time where a normal person wouldn't wear glasses? Back to the future. So to for achieving that, pi would be the best. It is much better than monovision LASIK or monovision SMILE, hyperopic LASIK, Presby Bond LASIK, and glasses contacts. And I can compare each one and tell you why it's better. But just with any surgery, always remember everything has a little side effect, and forearmed is forewarned, or the reverse forewarned is forearmed. That means if you already know you're going to get some glare, and we show you the pictures, videos, what you can expect, you right away know, hey, is this something I can tolerate for a few days or not? And most of the time, my patients are already knowing what to expect. When they see it, they say, hey, doc, just like you told me, but it's less than what you showed me. So let's look at glasses versus pi. So glasses and pi, a lot of people think, oh, I love my glasses and it's cosmetic. No, it's not cosmetic. Cosmetic is the way the world sees you, and pi is the way you see the world. Glasses get fogged up in rain. Also, if you're wearing mask, whether it be for COVID protection or surgery, they do get fogged up, right? And periphery cannot be seen out of glasses. And in the age group we are talking, you'll be wearing progressives, keep moving your neck ache, shoulder pain, or you'll wear bifocals and with jump, etc. And main thing I've seen, as you grow older, and I've done a lot of people who are now in their 80s and write thank you notes. Some, become handicapped for various reasons, strokes, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, have the glasses on their head and forget. A lot of times they benefit more than even a 50-year-old, because if they've had it in their eyes, there's one less thing to worry. I can give you an example of a patient. She came to us from Oxnard, and then she didn't come for 9 months or 8 months while she was making her mind. And then suddenly she called, I want to come in and have surgery this week itself. When she came in, I asked why. She's saying, I'm going to have back surgery and I'm going to be in the hospital sometime, and then 3 months for recuperation, the way whatever complicated the surgery she was having. And saying, in the bed, if my glasses fall down, how am I going to have them to read or anything? I'm going to stuck there, to wouldn't be able to watch TV. Those are the aspects we learn by daily encounters, or by a cop who, after the surgery, described to me how easy he found to do a high speed chase in the middle of night on the 101 freeway to 405 and catching the suspect who was not able to drive in the night very good after that. So every time I hear these stories, it tells me why pie is better than glasses. Contact lens, of course, causes so much dryness and irritation in Southern California where people are already above 50 and suffering some sort of dryness. It makes matters worse. And we already discussed about LASIK and SMILE blended, one eye far, one eye near. So if you're a tennis player, it's going to be very difficult to know the ball over the line or not. And if you're an active sports person and you're about to shoot, the depth perception will affect your ability. So in 2026, with all the advanced technology we have, where we can adjust the outcomes by lasers after the procedure to get you that last bit of perfection with pi supersedes everything. So pi, of course, Christmas pie, Thanksgiving pie, but the pie by Dr. Khanna is the best for you. Is presbyopia implants covered with insurance? So we have to be very careful when we say presbyopia implants because when you come to us, to me, to Dr. Khanna, you're not buying a presbyopic implant. You're buying presbyopia management strategy and outcome, which is delivered to your choice. Presbyopia implant is one part of that strategy, using robotic lasers to align it and put it accurately, or using excimer lasers, femto lasers, YAG lasers afterwards to fine tune it to perfection is part of the management strategy. Because one person asked me, hey, can I go to the company and buy directly from them and save money? And I said, why stop there? Ask them to tell you where they get it from and you buy from them. Or you go even reverse and find out how you can manufacture it at home. But is it like buying a waste paper basket? Come on, it's your eyes and something that is going to be lifelong lasting. It's not like glasses, every 2 years you throw it away, or contacts morning and throw in the evening. We are talking of permanent, perfect, pristine vision. P, P, P by P. And so when insurance covers, it covers when you have a morbidity like cataracts. Now, presbyopia is not considered a morbidity, even though we both know presbyopia is a biological degradation, just like osteoporosis or development of diabetes, but insurance has treated them differently. So let's say you have very good insurance and they might cover a part of it, but that's rare. And number two, even if they cover, they don't cover for presbyopia, they'll cover it as a part of cataract surgery. So if you want an honest A by answer is no medical or vision insurance covers PI. Vision insurance like VSP, IMED, Davis, Spectra all have a misnomer. They don't cover vision correction, they just cover glasses and contacts. They don't even cover medical diseases and all. Whereas medical insurances will cover medical disease. But this in between refractive surgery is cash based. So for eyes, we have three kinds: the medical insurance for diseases like glaucoma, diabetes; for glasses and contacts, vision insurance like VSP. But cash is the king, and king rules. So you can get refractive surgery, including PI on cash. Presbyopia recovery timeline. So let's say you had PI surgery in your eye with me using the latest technology of robotic laser surgery, astigmatism correction with toric implants, which will allow you to see far, middle, and near. What can you expect? So, for 98% of the people, you'll be surprised, and even I've become surprised as we've improved our technology and feedback. By the same day, they are able to almost drive. We don't let them drive because they have medicines on board, etc. But everything is still foggy like underwater. Give it 24 hours, and vision comes very close to 20/20 for most of the people. Some people, whether you've had LASIK before or from variations in the length of the eye, etc., or curvature of the cornea, can take a few more days to get there. During this time, the eye is healing from the surgery itself. So, optical healing hasn't occurred, a medical healing. So, you might see blurry, you might see a lot of glare and all first few days. And you might see shutterbug phenomena, lights flickering. Some people might see some shadows on the side. Give it 1 week, and these all go away. At that time, we begin to see, did we nail the refraction and your Plano 2020, 2015, 2010, or there is a little adjustment which might be needed. So we start documenting that, but don't treat anything because it's a um, living eye, and the plastic piece we have put acrylic can still move around a few microns, which can adjust or affect the outcome. And so the timeline, in this time you're putting drops and then you start tapering them off. So after 1 week or after 3 days, basically we've checked the pressure. So in the beginning we have to keep an eye on the pressure, not allow it to spike, and let the inflammation decrease, make sure there's no infection, which we've never seen, thank God. But after 3 4 days, pretty much you're done. And so a lot of out of town people fly away at that time. And then you taper the drops over the next few weeks. The next important timeline occurs around a month, where the dryness and all attention has to be paid. So if you're out of town, what we do is we make a box with different days to open your drops and ointments. So we start with the 3-in-1 drop, which we taper. And as it get tapers, we introduce preservative-free artificial tears, eye ointment at bedtime, and after a month, lid scrubs, warm compress to start treating what we will expect from the dryness. As all these things are being treated, the next time you have to see me really is between 3 and 6 months, when we start using the YAG laser to polish the back of the lens. Sometimes we don't have to do till 9 months, so it's very individualistic. And if all the vision is good, everything is good, that's great. Now, between 1 month, when the vision has sort of stabilized, the neuroadaptations becomes the main component. What is neuroadaptation? If you remember, if you ever wear a new pair of uh, vision correction glasses, it takes you time to adjust. Things look different size and all. You have to adjust the frames. So same way, brain is adjusting to a different form of vision interpretation of the universe. Because from when a kid is born, or a baby is born, I should say, between birth and up to 3 to 5 years, it doesn't even see 2020. It takes time. That's neuroadaptation, but you're too young to remember. But now, after that, till around 50 years of age, brain saw the world in one unique way, right? Now we are changing the strategy about when we do the pie, they are seeing it differently. And that's why we like to do both eyes together, so that when you get up, brain sees the same thing and doesn't have to get confused by seeing two different images. So the next few months, brain keeps adapting. And the best part of brain, it's a learning, really good at learning. We were taught, oh, after 13 years of age, brain can't learn, old people can't learn. It's the other way around. The more you learn, the younger you will become. And now it has been proven what we have been saying for last 30 years. Brain can produce and adjust its cells to even in at any age. So neuroadaptation is new neural pathways being created and adjusted. And what has been surprising to us and documented by various studies, and you'll be very happy to know the vision keeps improving. You might be 2015 now, but the quality of vision improves so after a year. So after 1 year, you'll see better than now. After 7 years, you'll see better than 1 year. And the best part, now that we've reached around 15 years and more, people who come now, I'm shocked. Ed even had a video 15 years ago, and now at age 82, he sees better than when we did his surgery 15 years ago. What, he was 67 that time? And that's been very surprising to me, because everybody says, oh, with age, the vision will decrease, but this thing, it's been the other way around. So the healing timeline goes on and on. But for practical purposes, you're driving the next day, you're back to work, and by 1 week, a lot of people forget they had surgery. So it's a quick healing, but cautious to watch out for the pressure, to watch out for any inflammation spike, and to be ready to fine tune to get perfection, all the while coaching you where to hold the um, things at near or middle, where to hold the phone for optimum vision, because that's also a change, right? Previously, people held differently. Now there's a sweet spot which keeps expanding every month. So it's a quick healing, but a slower adapting. But most of the people by 3 months are better than normal. There might be, just like I always tell, there's a bell shaped curve. Some people are done by 3 days. I never see them. And it's odd. People will pay money and then forget about us till they need us. And others will take longer, maybe 6 months and maximum to 2 years. But how we want to move the whole curve towards the left to faster is by, based on the 15, 20 years of experience, choosing the right candidates. And that we'll discuss in our next video.
Hello, my name is Chuck Severance. As you can see, I'm a cyclist. I'm also 71 years old, and I'm a fairly serious cyclist. Last year I did 4,500 miles. This year I've done over 1,300. I'm on a ride right now. I'll finish up with about 30 miles today. That'll give me about 80 miles this week. I'm 71 now. I'm also a PI patient of Dr. Khanna. Wow, what a difference that has made in my life. No more glasses that I need. I got peripheral vision now. The sky's bluer. The grass is more verdant. I'm looking at it right now. It's changed everything. I didn't tell Dr. Khanna this, but if you're concerned at the fact that you might say, oh, I'm too old for PI, well, I'm living proof that you're not. And I also got it because at some point I may need to go to assisted living or fully assisted living. And I don't want to have to be looking for my glasses or have to have someone go there and try to find my glasses or have it clean, smudged. This is all just taken care of. So for all these reasons and many more, you really want PI. It's painless. He does a first-class job. He's a perfectionist, just the way I am, and I feel that that's the kind of surgeon I wanted. Everything's included, and one other thing, lifetime warranty. No one else that I know of would offer that. So when you're on the road, you see this blue helmet and a big smile on my face, keep on pedaling. because I'm a pie patient.
Hi, I'm Jill. I'm with KVI, also known as Khanna Vision Institute, and I'm going to give you the top inside scoop of what it's going to be like during your consultation. So come on and let's go find out together. All right, so over here is the front desk. This is where you will walk in and first meet me. I do a bunch of things up here. I'll go ahead be scheduling your consultation, your pre-op, your surgery, and all of your post-ops. I'm also over here. I will be the one that's texting you back with all of your scared text messages, and I will be the one hyping you up, being your little hype woman up in the front. And let's go ahead and look at the machines. So over here, you will go ahead, be led into multiple different machines. This one's the topography, this one's autorefractor, this one's your lensometry. We have some more machines over here. This one's the IOL master, and that one does your OCT and other things. These are just all different kinds of machines that can help with determining your cornea thickness, your prescription, and so much more for any different kind of surgery that you may need. All right, so now I'll take you into the exam room. So over here is where you'll go ahead, talk to Dr. K himself. He will go ahead, let you know what surgery will be best suited for you. Over here at KVI, Dr. Khanna is a specialist in multiple different kinds of surgeries. He's a corneal expert, so he will be able to determine, once again, what surgery would be best for you based on a bunch of different factors such as prescription, cornea thickness, etc., etc. We'll be here to help you get the vision that is right for you and your sight. All right, so now I'll take you into the laser vision correction room itself. I'll give you a little sneak peek. Don't mind this sign, it's not actually dangerous. We just need to put it up there for safety reasons. So over here is the machine that we use for doing LASIK, LASIK, super LASIK, a bunch of different kinds of procedures. This is the bed you will be laying on. Make sure to clean it thoroughly. We clean the whole room thoroughly. We do some other kinds of operations in here, but typically those are the most common that we do. So yeah, we'll see you here when you get your laser vision correction. So now for the last part of our tour, I'll take you into the counseling room, which is where you will set up all of your pre-op and your surgery dates. And we have a little star guest as well. Dr. Khanna himself. This will be the surgeon that will be working on you. He is a master of many ways.
So when you are not there, we have to do the surgical planning, because it's not just take numbers and dump into the laser. We have to look at your age, prescription, astigmatism, and adjust based on the algorithm. So you see well today, tomorrow, and forever.
And that concludes our tour for today. All right, so confession time. I love working here because I get to experience all of the patients and their happy vision, but I'm a little salty because I am not eligible for LASIK yet. I'm hyperopic, which means I am farsighted for the people who do not know. And I just started wearing glasses last year, so my vision is not stable enough yet for me to get LASIK. Like mentioned, though, very excited for all of the patients who do get to see vision in 4K without wearing their contacts or glasses, being irritated in their eyes or their glasses fogging up. But I've been counting down the days for me to be able to ditch the glasses and see glasses free for the rest of my life. So if you're worried about it, don't worry. I'm saving up every single penny I can so that I can see just like how you will in the future with crystal clear vision here at KVI.
Is SMILE really safer than LASIK? This is a question I get asked very commonly in consultations. And it's not a simple yes or no answer because it's very nuanced. Both procedures are FDA approved. That means the safety has been verified, and both are extremely safe procedures when done properly with the latest equipment with highly skilled surgeons. The difference lies in the way they are executed and how the interaction occurs after the surgery. LASIK, as you may be aware, we raise a flap. So there's a 18 to 22 millimeter opening made in the cornea, which allows the flap to be lifted. And another laser, the excimer laser, then reshapes the cornea and the flap is put back. In SMILE, there is no flap and only a 2 to 4 millimeter opening through which the carved out disc is extracted. So why the difference comes from is the flap. Both procedures can be done with highly excellent surgeons in the laser suite and done very perfectly. But what happens after that is where the difference lies. LASIK, because of the flap, can develop wrinkles, flap slips, fluid can go in between the flap, also bugs can go in, and God forbid later on you're camping or something or skiing or in contact sports, somebody hits you tangentially, the flap can get displaced. SMILE avoids this. But in certain cases, SMILE may be preferred for other reasons like less dry eyes because it's operated on below the surface, there are less corneal nerves there. That also adds to the biomechanical stability. But in other situations, LASIK might be the preferred one, especially if cornea is thinner or for hyperopia. So usually my answer is it all depends on your unique refraction, corneal shape and corneal thickness and lifestyle to choose which will be best for your eye. Because safety lies not in the procedure, but in individualistic choosing the best option. And that's what life is about, right? Being individualistic. Thank you. Hi, SMILE recovery. What happens day by day? It's a unique procedure, SMILE, because the recovery and the excellence of the surgery begins before the procedure. Unlike LASIK and presbyopic implants, etc., the immediate half an hour before surgery are not as important as in SMILE. Because SMILE, everything is done inside the cornea, so the laser has to be transmitted very accurately. And as you may be aware, anything that comes in the path of the laser has to be pristine and clear. That means the tear film and the cornea have to be very clear. So we cannot let the eyes dry out before the procedure. So what we do is we avoid putting anesthetic drops so you don't stop blinking. In fact, I tell you, my patient, to close your eyes and take deep breaths at least 10 times, not only to relax you, but to keep your eyes moist. And so then after the surgery goes very smoothly, well, what you'll feel is a little stinging and burning, but that's when we augment it with anesthetic drops. Most of my patients will go home and sleep, both from the surgery itself and from the effect of the anxiolytic Xanax. When you get up, and a lot of my patients come back the same day because they want to go back to work next day, and usually by 6, 7 hours later, they are seeing close to 20/20. But the irritation can still continue. Nearly everyone goes to work next day. Some might take another day off. So, one thing you have to be aware is the quality. Even after LASIK, initially you can get glare. So, same ways with SMILE, you do get some nighttime glare in the first few days as your eyes are optically healing and brain adjusts to the new vision. Just like when you get a new pair of glasses, sometimes it takes time to adjust. But within 2, 3 days, the stinging is gone, you're seeing good. But even though the dryness is less compared to LASIK, we do like to add treatment for moisturizing the eyes, which might include artificial tears, preservative free, but better nighttime eye ointment, and maybe even punctal occluders. Keeping it moist on the surface helps the recovery faster. And because this is a fast healing procedure, day one you're back at work. By day three, you could start resuming your contact sports, even swimming. So that's a big advantage over LASIK, that you can go back to active sports and work much faster, and it is safer. So by 1 month, nearly everybody is 20/20, and everybody forgets they even had surgery because all the symptoms have gone away. But as always, there's one or two late stragglers who may have had predisposing dryness or are more conscious at nighttime. And so they might take up to 3 months for the glare to totally fade away. Remember, every surgical procedure is bound to have some side effects, and it's always a bell-shaped curve in most procedures. Majority, 80%, will be, let's say, by 1 week. Few will be ahead of the curve and they'll be done in one day. Few might take 3 months. So, overall, it's a very quick and safe recovery. Night halos after smile eye surgery. What's the truth? So, for understanding this, let's go back 40 years. Yes, I'm sort of giving away when LASIK started, and we had conventional lasers of generation 1, which were broad beam. So I started doing LASIK in 97, so I'm very familiar with those lasers. So there was a broad beam. So it was a circle at either your cornea got treated or there was a no treatment zone. There was no border in between to smooth out the edge. So that resulted in two things: a sharp edge, which caused misery when the light came and it got scattered. That's glare and halos. And secondly, cells went and fell into the cavity created, and there was a lot of regression. But now that we are on to our fifth and sixth generation, that was taken care of uh, to a large extent. So when SMILE came in, previous knowledge was already adapted and built it into the software. So with SMILE, the glare and halos are much less, but they might still occur for three reasons. When in the night, pupil dilates more than the optical zone. So we have an anatomical optical zone created by a SMILE eye surgery, let's say between 6 and 7 mm based on the exact prescription. But if your pupil went beyond or fluctuated, that could cause. In high prescriptions, because a lot more tissue is being removed. And then if you had astigmatism, and then also it has to be smoothened out, right? But there's another fourth reason. When you remove a layer of the cornea, there's an optically or anatomically empty space which has to get obliterated. That's why I believe in the surgery, we don't like to put any water or anything which might delay that part. Some people, it'll heal very fast, but some people it takes time, and it can cause glare. Now, in early on Smile, there was a lot more glare because the beam was wider and it was not very precise. So it was like pockmarks. So that would cause some inflammation and glare. But now it's so smooth with the advent of AI incorporation into the algorithms that these things have decreased tremendously. So if glare was going to be an issue holding you back, I wouldn't. I would encourage you to have, because none of my patients after Smile are complaining of glare. And so you should be one of them. Is Smile permanent? A very good question, and a very simple answer can be yes. But what we have to understand is why people ask this question. The question emanates from LASIK eye surgery. If you remember, I was telling in another video, I've been doing LASIK since 1997 when first generation of broad beam lasers were there. Broad beam lasers had a sharp treated and non-treated edge where epithelial cells would fall in and reverse the effect, causing regression. And also, most of the early adopters were baby boomers who did not want to have radial keratotomy and were waiting for LASIK to come. But now, Smile is being done on the correct age group with the more modern lasers. So in the 1997, when you operated on somebody in their 40s, they would lose their reading ability pretty soon. And they thought LASIK did not work. Or if they were treated for -4, the cells would come in and they might be -1 soon. In Smile, the disc of tissue removed inside the cornea is permanently removed and it does not grow back. So therefore, Smile is permanent. But just like learning from LASIK eye surgery, if you're in your 20s till 45, nothing will happen. But what we have to remember is eyes will continue to age, and Smile does not prevent aging of the eyes or aging of the bodies. That's important because most people between 45 and 60 develop something called presbyopia, where they need glasses to read. We do have technology to overcome that with another modern surgery called PI, but under 45, that's not recommended. So when you're in your 20s, best to do Smile. And when you're in your 50s and don't want to wear reading glasses, you'll have other choices. Same way, there is chance that you would develop glaucoma or macular degeneration as with aging when you reach your 60s, 70s, and so on, and finally cataracts. But the short answer is the refractive stability with Smile more than LASIK. Answer is yes. That's why the enhancement rate with Smile is much less than with LASIK eye surgery, as reported in various studies in peer-reviewed journals. So once again, to summarize, modern day, latest generation Smile provides refractive stability nearly throughout life. Thank you. Why athletes prefer Smile? You see, when you're an athlete or an elite sports person, let's say a baseball player or a football player, you want to focus entirely on your sport. You want to cut out the noise from the stadium. You want to cut off fans booing or cheering you and focus on the ball. One less thing to worry about is a flap moving. In LASIK, the flap is created and put back, which sticks naturally, but it never heals permanently. What that means is with the high impact sports like boxing or football, when the helmet comes off, martial arts, and even armed forces, or even skiing, surfing, where there can be a lot of forces generated which can hit the eye, the flap can move or get displaced. If even if it moves slightly, it can cause wrinkles which will blur the vision and cause glare and halos. And of course, it moves, that'll be very painful and affect the vision. So sometimes people in these type of sports get conscious and very worried because the doctors will tell them, hey, you need to wear glasses, protect your eyes, and their focus then starts shifting. But come the bad boy of sports, smile, no such worries because the opening is only 2 to 4 millimeters, and it's not a flap like LASIK, which is 18 to 22 millimeter opening. In fact, if you consider, it's a reverse of a flap. The hinge of a LASIK flap is the opening now. So in LASIK, there's a 2 to 4 millimeter hinge and the rest is opening. In Smile, the rest is closed with only 2 to 4 millimeter opening. So when you're doing taekwondo or boxing and somebody hits, you know there's no flap, nothing can move, and you're as good as normal. So, Smile is the preferred choice by athletic people who want to excel and concentrate on their sports.
It's time. Time to set your eyes free. Free from limitations in your vision. Free from glasses and contacts. Free to see your best and be your best. It's time to smile. Smile is state-of-the-art laser vision correction, or LVC for short. Maybe you're new to LVC, or maybe you've looked into it before. Either way, it's time to take a closer look at Smile. Smile has revolutionized LVC, with more than 2.5 million procedures performed worldwide. So what's new, different, better about Smile? Compared to other LVC procedures, Smile is minimally invasive. Using a precision laser, the surgeon creates a thin lenticular disc and a small opening, just 4 millimeters, 80% smaller than other LVC procedures. The lenticule is removed through the opening, and unlike previous generation LVC, Smile doesn't involve cutting a flap on the eye's corneal tissue. In short, Smile is easy on the eyes. It's bladeless, flapless, and effortless. The simple one-step procedure takes just minutes to perform. Patients report little to no pain or discomfort. Best of all, recovery time is fast, with most patients back to work and back to play in one day. Because your life won't wait. It's time to say goodbye to glasses and contacts, goodbye to the inconvenience, and goodbye to the expense. Smile is actually less expensive than buying contacts or glasses over time. So it's an investment in your eyes in more ways than one. And if you have to say goodbye to your contacts even though you like them but your eyes don't, say hello to Smile and hello world. Discover the bladeless, flapless, effortless LVC and the smarter choice for better vision. Look into Smile. You'll love what you see.
I just finished my smile surgery 24 hours ago. My life is completely different, and it's been only 24 hours. It's been immensely better than I even dreamed, truly. I cannot believe that it was so easy and painless and just an incredible experience with Dr. Khanna. Everyone has been incredibly just warm and smart and competent. I feel in the best hands, worth every penny for sure. And I'm just incredibly lucky that I found, myself near this institute because I've been wanting to do this for 20 years, and no one has really convinced me until I came here a week ago. And then he was like, let's do it on Monday. I was like, all right. Yeah, it's incredible. And I feel in the best of hands, truly. It's great. Do it.
Who is the perfect EVO ICL candidate? If you have been told you're not a good candidate for laser vision correction, these might be the reasons: cornea being too thin, abnormal shape, or the treatment being very high, let's say above minus 10 diopters, or a mismatch between treatment and the corneal tissue available. For example, if you're 495 microns and need minus 6, you might be better for EVO ICL than if you had 575 microns when you might be better for SMILE. So high myopia, severe dry eyes, and also corneal mismatch, irregular corneas. Even in keratoconus eyes, EVO ICL can be put. And one thing we love about EVO ICL is it is reversible. It does not remove anything. It's an additive technology. You put a contact lens like lens inside your eye, but the best part, you don't feel anything. You don't have to take it out. And then since it's much closer to the nodal point than on the cornea, it gives you better vision. For example, when you move from glasses to contacts, your vision improves, your peripheral vision becomes more. Same way as you go inside deeper, little bits of astigmatism and others don't play as much role. 20 years from now, if technology improves, or 40 years from now, if you develop cataracts, then you can still remove this very safely, very easily, atraumatically, and do the next procedure. So, unlike laser vision correction, which is subtractive, this is additive. But not everybody is still a candidate for EVO ICL. We take great precautions in our practice to make sure the anterior chamber depth, the wall, the corneal health are all good before recommending this to one of our patients. But it's a great choice to keep it in mind. And thanks to advanced technology and development, it's not as expensive as it used to be before, and it's almost similar to cost of laser vision correction. So looking forward to helping you see better. High myopia strategy: smile, LASIK, or EVO ICL. Let's say your prescription is above -10. The number one choice becomes EVO ICL because in such high prescriptions, both LASIK and SMILE cannot deliver the best optics, leading to glare, halos, and corneal instability too. Of course, dryness is another issue. EVO ICL does not touch the cornea, so no dryness, no corneal instability, and it's reversible. Now, the great issue and debate and all occurs: what if your prescription is between -6 and -10? So we take three things into account in here. One is your prescription versus cornea available to treat. Number two, how you feel about a surface procedure versus intraocular procedure. And three, the economics of it all. So based on that, of your individual eye, with your perspective, we can bring our experience to the table, because in our hands, all three procedures work great. And if dryness is a pre-existing issue, or you don't want to lose any contrast or are worried that nothing should happen to the cornea, or looking for a reversible procedure, then EVO ICL is number one. But some people feel, oh, it's still an intraocular surgery, you're going inside my eye, even though it's a very quick procedure and a very minimal invasive, or there's a high risk of retinal detachment, etc., then SMILE becomes the safest. Let's say you're -6, you have 576 microns of cornea, and cornea looks normal shape, no signs of rust from keratoconus or anything. Then SMILE is a service procedure, quick in and out. So you see, it's not always black and white. Oh, SMILE is better or EVO ICL better, and I prefer EVO ICL, I prefer SMILE. It's very eye specific. And eyes don't live in outside the body, they are part of the body and mind. So how you feel about this and what would be your perspective, that will determine the final procedure. Either way, come to where experience and skill are there, and where we take care of your eyes.
Well, this is the journey of Khanna Vision Institute, a place where I dearly love to work for and work with. It has been a fantastic privilege for me to be able to experience and to help patients and people to be able to see. There's something powerful about your vision and be able to see in detail at both distance, middle, and near. Dr. Khanna is a true professional, an expert surgeon. He is an amazing bedside manner. He's fantastic. And all the people that work here are equally fantastic and equally knowledgeable at what they do. Thank you for my little short story that I've produced. Hopefully, we'll be able to do some in the future. Thank you. And please call Conavision if you're interested in any kind of refractive surgery. He's the best.